So this is actually a 48 volt setup with a 500 watt brushless motor.
Hey fellow riders and viewers, today's interview or today's episode, right, it's gonna be a bit controversial as it deals with e-bikes and the modifications and upgrades that some riders do. Joining me today in this episode will be another special guest. So this special guest is actually a e-bike rider who has been delivering for a food delivery company for a number of years already. Basically, right, he will be giving us his thoughts on the e-bike situation in Singapore from his perspective. He will also be sharing with us his insight on why some riders still perform certain illegal upgrades or modification despite the clear rules against them. So let's get on with the interview now, shall we? Hey bro, welcome to Grab Adventures, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy delivery schedule to join me for this interview. I know that you actually do deliveries on a part-time basis. Really, once again, thank you for joining me for this interview.
Hi, thank you for having me on this interview.
So my first question, I know the answer to this question already, but I would still like to hear it from you. Are you a full-time or part-time food delivery rider?
I'm a part-time food delivery rider, sorry. I was saying driver because I was previously a driver as well.
What is your mode of delivery? What is the vehicle that you actually use?
Okay, so currently I deliver by the e-bike, which I bought myself, and yeah, it's a GI Move MC.
Now, being an e-bike rider, right? I'm sure you know that Singapore has very strict laws when it comes to the purchase and usage of e-bikes and PMDs on public roads and pathways. Even me as a manual bicycle rider, right? I also have to follow rules and regulations. But however, it seems like e-bike riders and PMD riders, right? They have a whole separate set of rules which applies to them, which actually makes their job quite difficult to perform. So can you share your thoughts on this?
LTA has come up with their very specific rules and regulations pertaining to power assisted bikes or PAB in general. So of course you have to ride on the road and you have to keep out on from the normal pathways where people are walking, but you can actually use public paths, or rather the park connectors, but you have to abide your overall bike weight does not exceed 20 kilos. The width of your handlebar does not exceed 70 cm. Motorized speed is kept at 25 kilometers per hour. Devices such as bicycles, personal mobility devices or PMDs, and power assisted bicycles or PABs must adhere to the device criteria as below before they can be used on public paths. You should buy a device that comes with these specifications first. Okay, I understand where LTA is coming from, because they have to control what people are buying. Otherwise, it would pose a safety risk for the buyers and the public if people misuse them.
But you yourself have modified your e-bike, correct?
The reason why I actually chose to perform several upgrades on my e-bike is because it poses a safety risk for me when I'm on the road. Alright? Those who are riding e-bikes on the road would know. We have to filter lanes, we have to keep in specific lanes during turns. There will be cars behind us, there will be lorries, trucks, buses, whatsoever. We do not want to jam the public roads just because that we are supposed to be on the roads, alright? We want to share the roads with them peacefully. In order to do that, actually, the bike has to have a very good pickup speed. The bike has to have a quite powerful motor in order to support a better pickup speed and the rider's weight as well. Try cycling on the road at 25. If you are probably on a leisure cycle, fine. If you are using for work, in this case delivering, alright, and you have to actually cross over several lanes just to make it to the right turn lane, for example, and cars are whizzing behind you, how are you supposed to do that at just 25 kilometers per hour? I don't see how you can do that, because I've been through that. When I bought my e-bike from the local retailer and tried it for a week, I was like, this cannot happen. That was why I decided to change the motor to a 500 watt as compared to the stock motor, which is a 250 watt. And by changing the motor, you need to change the controller as well to support that power output. Otherwise, you may not have any improvement at all, or worst case scenario, your wiring might be burnt.
Can you show us what are the upgrades you made to your e-bike, and as well as maybe you can give a little bit of a explanation on your rationale or your reason for doing these upgrades.
These upgrades are actually illegal. They are not within LTA specifications, so disclaimer, do at your own risk. Know what you are getting into. So this is actually a 48 volt setup with a 500 watt brushless motor, able to climb some steeper roads. So I've changed the controller as well. This is the controller, 30M. Okay, so we can see here 48 volt 15 AH. I have another battery at home which is 21 AH mAh battery. So basically the 21 AH is for during the weekends, and normally I'll use this on a weekday because this can last me about 7 to 10 deliveries. The 21 AH can last me about 15 on full speed, because by using a high powered motor, your mileage will be lesser because there's much more power output. Okay, so nothing else. My pedals are stainless steel. Just after a month, the original stock pedals broke and the ball bearings came off, so I have to change to this. Very long lasting. My tires are slightly thicker than the original ones because when you are running at high speed, you need to have more contact on the road. So this is a 2.125 and it's still 14 inch. Okay, original stock light. This is the horn. It's like a motorbike horn. Very useful for cars, but try not to use on pedestrians because it's very loud. I have a voltmeter here so I will know what is the remaining capacity for the battery. Okay, I've installed the ignition switch on and off. This is for the stock light switch to on and off it. This is the gear selector, so there's mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, mode 3 being the fastest, actually not much of a difference. And this is the horn. So I've changed also my handlebar quite some time back, well last year, changed to this kind of a carbon fiber handlebar. Yep. So I can actually put more things. The stock handlebar is rubbish. You can't put anything. You can't put a lot of things. Oh yeah, brakes. Okay. Brakes I've changed to Shimano. This is regular disc brakes. These are not the hydraulic ones. Might change to hydraulic ones in the future because you need more stopping power. Okay guys, so I hope I solved your queries about my setup.
Wow, that was really interesting. I have never seen a video review like that before, that's for sure. But I mean, I really have to thank you, for doing this. Thank you for the showcase as well as the detailed explanations that you have provided.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I hope I've been helpful.
I sincerely hope that in the future, e-bike riders like yourself, right, they do come out with a legal version of something which actually works in a food delivery rider's favor when they are doing deliveries and all that.
Thank you. Peace out, guys.
Okay, thank you. Okay, viewers, what do you think? So, it has been I would say it was an interesting interview. Different people, they have, of course, different perspectives and views. There have been a lot of negative impressions about food delivery riders. Every mode of food delivery, from the motorbike rider to e-bike rider to a cyclist, and even walkers, right? Each and every one of us face unique challenges. According to our mode of delivery, all of us have our own separate challenges and obstacles that we have to overcome in order to do this job sometimes. My perspective is that e-bike and the technology behind them, it's actually improving. Manufacturers, they have taken note of the need for specifically built e-bikes for the food delivery industry, and they are now manufacturing them. I mean, now you have bikes like the Eco Drive, which is on the second version 2.0, and then you have the competitor Coal Max Plus, which is also similar to the Eco Drive, and then there is the new foldable 20-inch e-bike called the Leader from Mobot. So these e-bikes, right, they are not something which I think, judging from the look of them as well as the technical specifications and all these things, right, it's not something which leisure cyclists or leisure e-bike riders would actually buy. They are more, I think, catered towards the food delivery riders, who are riding e-bikes for a living. However, at the end of the day, no matter what it is, the law is still the law. So we need to follow the rules and regulations according to what the government actually says about these e-bikes, about how we use them, and what are the types we can purchase. So remember, if you are considering getting an e-bike, do buy them from a local dealer with a local warranty, and which is most importantly compliant with all the local rules and regulations. Ride safe, be safe, and I'll see you in another episode soon.